These big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
He said it boldly in front of Hollywood's biggest names, looking straight at them, and suddenly the entire room fell completely silent.
Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Here's what a lot of people are quietly wondering but not hearing on major news channels. If the Epstein files are really being released, why do certain powerful Hollywood figures never seem to come up in serious discussions? And why is Oprah Winfrey's name suddenly being talked about so much online? We've seen this pattern before. There are big promises, dramatic headlines, and talk about secret documents finally coming out. For years, the government has hinted that more information would be revealed, keeping the public waiting. But this time feels different. It's not just about another deadline or another news cycle. It's about who is speaking up. Ricky Gervais once stood on a huge Hollywood stage and openly criticized powerful celebrities in a way few others dared to do. Joe Rogan, who has one of the largest podcast audiences in the world, also discusses these topics regularly. When voices with that much reach focus on the same questions and the same names, people start paying attention. That doesn't feel random, feels intentional.
Epstein's reach went to the very top of fashion, arts, and entertainment. This did not just happen to underage girls in Florida. In New York City, hundreds of young, ambitious women were abused by him.
Think about what that moment really meant. Ricky Gervais was not just telling jokes for laughs. He was using humor as protection. Comedy gave him a shield. A way to say bold things in a room full of powerful people without being thrown out. He wasn't simply teasing celebrities. He was calling out something deeper. He was pointing at an uncomfortable truth, and everyone sitting there understood exactly what he was talking about. You could see it in their faces. Now move ahead to today. The Epstein documents are slowly being opened. Papers that were sealed for years are becoming public. With the December 19th deadline approaching, the entertainment world seems tense. At the same time, several well-known figures are quietly making big moves. They are not just traveling for work. Some are selling properties, shifting assets, and settling in other countries. The timing has raised eyebrows. But the bigger question is not only about who might be worried. It is also about who may not appear in those records at all. Some people wonder whether certain names were removed or hidden. That is why Oprah Winfrey's name keeps coming up in online discussions.
In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow.
He kept pushing, and you could feel the tension in the room. People did not know whether to laugh or freeze, because his jokes felt more like serious claims wrapped in humor. When he mentioned Epstein, everything went quiet. It was not casual. When he said, "I know he's your friend," it sounded pointed. Ricky Gervais is careful with his words. He was clearly speaking to certain people. And the way he ended it felt less like comedy and more like a warning.
Talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. No one cares about movies anymore.
When he said they had no moral authority, he was not whispering. He was saying it clearly, right to people who are used to being praised, not challenged. His message was simple. You cannot stand on a stage and lecture the public about right and wrong if your own circles are filled with secrets. For years, regular people online have argued that he was speaking uncomfortable truth. Now, with several celebrities leaving the United States or quietly settling in other countries, the conversation has changed. At first, people asked if he was just joking. Now the question sounds different. How much did he actually understand about what was happening behind closed doors? That is what many listeners of Joe Rogan keep debating. Rogan has spent years interviewing actors, comedians, fighters, and industry insiders. He has heard stories that were only half told. Guests sometimes pause mid-sentence, laugh nervously, or switch topics when discussions move toward powerful social circles in Hollywood. That kind of hesitation makes people wonder what is left unsaid. Over time, a belief has grown online that there are still important names the public has not seen in official documents. Before focusing on Oprah Winfrey, many people point to what they see as a pattern. When well-known figures begin selling expensive homes, moving money, and relocating abroad around the same time sensitive documents are being discussed, it naturally raises eyebrows. Some call it coincidence. Others are not so sure. Take Ellen DeGeneres. Reports say she is now living in the United Kingdom. Around the same time, stories surfaced claiming she could not be served legal papers in a civil case because she was overseas. Supporters say she simply wanted a change of pace. Critics ask why someone so wealthy would need to be unreachable over a lawsuit tied to a car accident. For them, the timing feels strange. Years ago, Ellen casually mentioned attending late-night gatherings connected to Sean Diddy Combs. At the time, it sounded like normal celebrity chatter. Today, people replay those clips with a more suspicious lens. Richard Gere also sold a large property in Connecticut, reportedly at a loss. His representative said he wanted to be closer to his wife's family in Spain. That explanation may be completely true. Still, when someone accepts less than market value for a major estate and leaves shortly before high-profile document releases, speculation spreads quickly online. Eva Longoria and Rosie O'Donnell have also relocated abroad. Altogether, internet commentators claim dozens of recognizable figures have made similar moves. Whether those decisions are personal or practical, the pattern fuels discussion. Now, to be clear, there is no verified legal ruling connecting Oprah Winfrey to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. None. That fact matters. However, critics focus on what they call proximity. Oprah built a career on influence and access. She interviewed world leaders, actors, billionaires, and cultural icons. She moved in elite spaces where figures like Harvey Weinstein and others also operated. Before Weinstein's conviction, she had publicly supported him, as many in Hollywood once did. When his scandal broke, her response was measured. Some people felt it was not as forceful as expected from someone known for moral clarity. There was also controversy years ago involving misconduct by a staff member at her leadership academy in South Africa. Oprah was not accused of committing those acts, but critics argued that powerful institutions often respond carefully to protect reputations. In today's climate, that history gets pulled back into the conversation. Online commentators also connect broader celebrity networks. Naomi Campbell has acknowledged knowing Epstein while denying awareness of any crimes. Ashton Kutcher once joked in an interview that he had stories about exclusive parties he could not share, which now gets replayed with suspicion. Jay-Z's name has surfaced in unverified tips and dismissed lawsuits, though no confirmed evidence places him in Epstein's flight logs. These references often circulate without context, blending rumor with fact. The deeper concern many express is about transparency. Releasing some documents while keeping sections heavily redacted leads to doubt. People ask whether powerful connections are being protected. When survivors say they are compiling their own lists based on lived experience, that statement alone keeps the pressure high. Speculation about Oprah continues largely because of her level of influence. When someone holds that much cultural power, people question every association. Still, it is important to separate verified facts from internet theories. Right now, much of this conversation lives online, fueled by suspicion, timing, and past relationships rather than proven wrongdoing.
Right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. T.G. Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
People are not laughing anymore. The mood has changed. Sean Diddy Combs is in custody, more Epstein documents are being released, and several well-known celebrities have chosen to live outside the United States. At the same time, names that comedian Cat Williams mentioned years ago are now being discussed more openly online. Many commentators say that Cat Williams, Ricky Gervais, and Joe Rogan have all been pointing to a similar idea, just in different ways. They talk about a powerful social circle in entertainment where influential people protect one another. Ricky Gervais hinted at it while hosting the Golden Globes. Cat Williams spoke about it in interviews that some people once dismissed. Joe Rogan discusses related themes on a podcast that reaches millions every week. Online conversations often return to Oprah Winfrey when the topic of influence and access comes up. It is important to state clearly that there is no verified legal finding linking her to Epstein's crimes. Still, critics focus on proximity and connections within elite spaces. The Epstein files are seen by some as more than paperwork. They represent a test of whether powerful networks will truly be examined. Over the past few years, major figures like Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly have been convicted, and Epstein died while awaiting trial. That has led many to ask who else might face scrutiny. Survivors have said they are compiling their own records based on personal experience. Meanwhile, online communities continue reviewing released documents and questioning redactions. Whether the full truth will ever come out remains uncertain, but public interest is not fading.